Good morning. It's October 17th, 2014. I'm sitting here in my pajamas early in the morning. It's almost 6 o'clock. And I've been thinking about Anne and John Bender. I don't know them personally. I'm a neighbor. However, I know of them, and I did see Anne one time in the post office without her knowing. So I've found that I have communication with them, which doesn't surprise me. And recently, for those who know about this, I've been doing Anne's chakras. And I'm going to, please bear with me, but I want to show you how Anne's chakras are. So I use a pendulum, and I'm going to ask if I can communicate with, and I have permission to communicate with Anne Bender to test her chakras. As you see, the pendulum turns around in a circle, clockwise. If the pendulum turns counterclockwise, it means no. If the pendulum swings side to side like this, it's because it's a multiple choice question that it has not answered yet. When it answers the correct answer, or real close to the correct answer, it might be off by a number, so it will be going around in a circle like this. Now I am moving it now. Later on I won't be moving it. Okay, so let's communicate with Anne Bender. Okay, and I'm going to do her chakras. The traditional way is to do 7 chakras, okay? So I will simply ask, I have communication with her, and I ask how to show me her first chakra. I won't explain all these. The first chakra is more or less your connection with the earth. It's moving a little. It's not very good, but it's not terrible. If they stopped, they're bad, and sometimes they will actually rotate backwards, although some of the worst cases they just are totally stopped. That can actually sometimes be worse than for example, people with a really bad migraine, their head chakra, their 6th chakra, just stopped and very hard to get started. Okay, now show me the 2nd chakra. This has been improving the last few days. This is her relation with the opposite sex, which would probably be with John. And actually this is doing well. I'm glad of that. She's improving. Okay. The 3rd chakra, which I call it your, I don't know, your guts. She's not too bad here either. Okay, now we come to the 4th chakra. The 4th chakra is the heart chakra. And I've noticed this every time I do it. Her heart chakra is stopped, I would say. To put it in human terms, her heart is probably broken. There's no energy here. Okay? In just a minute I'm going to fix them. Okay? Now it comes to her 5th chakra, which surprises me a little. This is your throat chakra, your expression. And despite everything, at this point anyway, she is expressing herself. I kind of wonder how that is. Maybe something is happening that is allowing her to express herself, and she feels hopeful. So she's been able to do it. Next comes the 6th chakra, which is your head, what they call the 3rd eye chakra, which usually people don't have problems with. Okay, that's the 6th chakra, it's okay. And here comes the 7th chakra, which is her connection with the universe, if you want to say with God, which is paralyzed. And I would say that this is from the injustice that she's been suffering, and consciously or unconsciously she's blaming God. Okay, since this is the most paralyzed one, I know, we're going to correct this. And people will start out spinning it by hand, but I don't do that. I let this pendulum spin on its own, and just let it spin now until the 7th chakra is where it should be. We're sending energy to get this chakra rotating. Please bear with me, this takes a little while. But I think it's important that Anne feels better every day, at least for a while. This as I say, this usually takes a minute or two. It depends on how bad it is, but this is her worst area. And while I'm waiting for this to happen, let's say, it happens on its own, it will stop on its own. I started doing her chakras about 3 or 4 days ago. I'd offered to her family or friends through a friend to help any way I could, but they, I guess, don't believe in these things. I can say that I do. But so, fortunately, I'm a stubborn person, and for stuff like this, I don't have to ask them. I just ask Anne. Okay? You notice it's spinning pretty strongly here. Some people would say that my hand moves. If you believe that, I can sell you a vacation spot on Mars. My hand does move from the weight of the pendulum spinning around, moves it a little. But I'm not moving the pendulum, I guarantee you. Okay. Now, it's slowing down. Because I've been doing Anne's chakras and other things for the last few days, she's actually in better shape now than she was. Okay. As I remember, her other one is her 4th chakra. So I'm going to do specifically her 4th chakra now. We'll send energy to get it going good. And to save time, I'm just going to then give energy to balance, strengthen and balance all her chakras. But right now we're just working on the 4th. We want to get up the weak ones. We want to get them working okay. Her 1st chakra connection with the earth is also pretty weak, but it'll probably come up when I do all of them. It's not as weak as the heart chakra and her crown chakra, the 7th one. Okay? So now I'm sending energy to her heart chakra. I say that I send energy. I really don't know how it works, but it works. The pendulum spins on its own, and then I can ask if there's any chakra that needs help. Just an example, I'll do that now. Okay, it's stopping. Okay, now when I think that I'm going to answer a question that goes a multiple choice, the pendulum goes side to side. As you can probably see here, this camera's not real good. Is there any chakra that specifically needs more work? Okay, I'm just going to ask 1, the first one, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. It's indicating the 7th chakra still needs more work. 7th. Okay. I am going to spin it by hand now. This is a little faster. It's going so fast you probably can't even see it, of course. I am spinning it by hand to give it extra energy. Okay. I'm going to stop, and just to get on with this, I'm going to spin. I'm just going to get physically me spinning the pendulum. I'm going to give energy to all of her chakras to strengthen and balance her chakras, so we can get on with important things. Strengthen and balance all of Ann Bender's chakras. Strengthen and balance all of her chakras. While I'm doing this, I have never met Anne, but in case she sees this, I'd like to tell her hi. Even though you haven't met us, you do have friends who care about you. And never forget that. I hope this message comes out to be a very positive one for you. And I think it will. I think we're going to have some information from John. And I think you'll find that he loves you. You probably already know that. But, okay. Let's test Anne's chakras now. The first chakra, see how much better that is? This is about normal, okay? The second chakra, that's okay. The third chakra, the fourth chakra that was paralyzed, her heart chakra. See, that's pretty good now. Okay. The fifth chakra, her expression. Okay, it's okay. the 6th chakra, which was okay before, and now the 7th chakra, which was the one that really needed it. Okay, the 7th chakra is working okay. Okay, the chakra's okay. Now, before we start, I know if I were to contact John Bender, which we will, people would say that these answers that he is making them up, or he's saying what he wants. So before we start, notice the pendulum starts going side to side. Before we start, I want to ask how much money John Bender has made in his lifetime. Okay, we know it's hundreds of millions of dollars, so let's start with 100 million, 200, 300, 400. When it turns in a circle, then that's the correct answer. 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1 billion, 1.1, 1.2, it's getting close, 1.2, 1.21, 1.22, 1.23, 1.24, 1.25, 1.26, it's going to slow down and stop. $1.25 billion, about $1,250 million, give or take a few million. Okay. And I asked this question the other day. I want to answer again so people see. How much of this money was gained dishonestly? 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, 8 million. Notice that from the beginning the pendulum was spun backwards. That means that none of these are the answer. John Bender was and is an honest man. Okay. Thank you, John, for being honest. Okay. What was it? $1,250 million. I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter too much. Okay. Now, we're going to do something that I asked to do. We're going to communicate with John Bender and ask him some questions. So these answers, if you don't like them, don't blame me. They're what John is giving us. Okay. First I ask, can I communicate with John Bender through this pendulum? And the pendulum says yes. Okay. By the way, the pendulum is usually moved by my guardian angel. Okay? Now, to communicate with John Bender, I'm going to ask, to show that this is a process, ask that the pendulum spin until we have communication with John Bender. When we reach communication with John, let the pendulum stop and turn backwards. Okay? So let the pendulum start spinning. It usually takes anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. If people are really stubborn and probably don't want communication, but so far it's always been possible. Well, no, not always. There are people I can't communicate with, but the people I've tried and had a reason to. Okay, the pendulum is spinning. And when it stops, no, it's not just stop, it's going to stop and turn backwards just a little bit to indicate that we are connected and have communication with John Bender. Okay, the pendulum is slowing down. John is not opposed to being contacted. This is a lightweight pendulum. It moves easily. But it's also a little susceptible even to breezes. So, okay, and there comes the little rotation backwards. Okay. That means that we are in contact with John.